All right. Hello everyone. I hope that Michael is going to join me very soon for this date release. Meanwhile, I would like to remind you that we are discussing the UK claimant count change or the unemployment rate, of course. And let me find my slides. Here they are. All right. So as you can see on my screen, at the current moment, the forecast for this release stands at minus 9.1 thousand, while the prior figure stood at minus 14.8 thousand. We're talking a little bit more about the history of this and also some other indicators of unemployment. Here, not of the unemployment, but of the UK labor market, of course. It is important to mention that the UK labor market has been tightening significantly over the past 2 years. The jobless rate fell to a decade low at 2015, but wages continued to rise only very modestly and far below their pre-crisis average anyway. Expectations ahead of today's labor market data release suggest that jobless claims and the jobless rate remains at the decade low of 5.1% in the quarter to January, and very close to the estimate of a neutral rate of unemployment. Even though market estimates point to no change to the headline gauge, the monthly non-official jobless rate rose to 5.3 in December. The first increase actually since May 2015, suggesting there is a potential risk of a quarterly rate ticking up slightly. But jobless claims change as concerns this one, a highly volatile, of course, but less distant gauge of labor market activity. It is seen falling by around 9,000, as I said already in February, after a decline of 14.8 thousand a month before. Concerning the wages, it is important to say, I think, that wages are expected to pick up only very slightly, of course, reflecting very low inflation, weak productivity, and compositional changes in the labor market. Underlying pay growth, excluding bonuses, it is seen picking up to 2.1% in the quarter to January. Earnings with bonuses are expected to have ended up by 1 percentage point to 2%. Both measures are notably below the pre-crisis levels also. Well, what else? What else? A slowing economy and subdued domestic cost pressure in the form of mediocre pay growth combines with strong disinflationary forces spilling over from the overseas, of course, and this all have kept the Bank of England's policymakers overly cautious about the future path of the monetary policy. But yeah, anyway. So now, what about the experts? Of course, we have experts surveyed by Bloomberg, and according to their views, we have the survey summary, where the median estimate stands at minus 9.1 thousand, average minus 8.63 thousand, highest estimate is minus 5,000, lowest estimate is minus 15, and the total number of estimates has reached 22 this time only. And of course, I will shortly also tell you about the Dukascopy community member sentiment, of course. Also, we can see that our traders are rather bullish on the cable at this point, with 55.33% bullish votes versus 44.66 bearish ones. And of course, we have a couple of comments which you can read yourself, because right now I have to pass the floor to Michael, who is going to cover the technicals for you guys. Michael, please.
Thank you, Kate. Hello, everyone. So, for today's data release, I've chosen the cable, obviously, and the positive surprise trading strategy, since the forecasts are expecting the data to improve. Hence, we might see the cable go upwards. The market sentiment is rather strongly bullish for the given pair at 65.37%, with the sterling being bought in an also quite large percentage, 61.70% of all cases, and the US dollar is being sold only in 45.20% of all cases. Concerning the pending orders in the 50 pip range, they are equally divided between the buy and the sell ones, while in the 100 pip range, the majority, namely 56.34%, are to purchase the British pound. Other market participants are also mostly bullish on the sterling dollar. Wanda has a bullish sentiment of 56.93%, while Saxo Group is neutral, with bulls slightly outnumbering the bears. The sentiment is 50.36%, and the daily FX has a 61% bullish sentiment. So, we move to the market reaction table, where we have the reactions for the previous 5 UK Claimant count change releases, as well as the unemployment rate and the average hourly earnings, since they are released at the same time. The largest reaction was 45 pips, which was in the previous month, and the smallest one was only 22 pips back in December. So we also seen that the Claimant count change data started to surprise with positive, rather better than expected data compared to the previous 4 releases, while the unemployment rate actually disappointed us only in the previous release. So we might see another disappointment today as well, which will strongly weigh on the cable and hence push it to the downside. So there's always a risk of that. Nonetheless, the approximate average reaction we can expect today is around 34 pips, and based on this reaction we can set the take profit and stop loss levels accordingly. I'm never surprised now at 220. So the take profit level is located at 1.4160, with no other level close by to bolster this resistance, while the stop loss level is located at 4092, quite close to the 4-hour S1, the daily, also the daily S1, and maybe the Bollinger Band, so making this a rather strong support area in case we do see the data disappoint. The sterling is likely to fall towards this spot. So moving to the technical indicators, they are mostly giving us bearish signals, with the only bullish ones in the 10-minute time frame, but the most important one is the 30-minute time frame indicator, because it was updated specifically for the given date release 30 minutes ago, and it's actually giving bearish signals, so implying that the pair will go down. So we will probably see some disappointment in the data, but nonetheless I still decided to remain with the positive trading strategy. Concerning the forecasts of other banks from the Bloomberg survey, concerning the UK Claimant count change, the HSBC Bank, which is the top forecaster, expects a 2.1% growth. The Bank of America Merrill Lynch expects the data to meet expectations, while the Capital Economics actually expects data to be slightly worse. And concerning the unemployment, not the unemployment rate, but the the first one was about the average hourly earnings, and now the Claimant count change. The Bank of America Merrill Lynch expects the data to be a lot worse than anticipated, minus 14.7 thousand, so up from minus 14.8, which is the previous month's data. And the Capital Economics actually expects a lot better figure, minus 5,000, compared to the 9.1 thousand forecast. So we should see the data in a second now. The unemployment rate remained unchanged. The average weekly earnings is actually did meet Commerzbank's and HSBC Bank's expectations, so it's better than anticipated, but the Claimant count change disappointed us rather dramatically, so hence we see almost no reaction because of the mixed data. Well, there was a slight jump to the upside of 9 to 10 pips, and yeah, the jobless claims change was the main thing that weighed on today's spread. So I believe that will be all from my side, and back to you, Kate.
All right, thank you, Michael. So yes, guys, we see that the data actually came out a lot worse than anticipated. Disappointing us, of course, but nothing doing. I hope that you still got your green tips on that. Meanwhile, that would be it from our side, and we would like to pass the floor to our colleague Bruno, who will continue with his webinar on Visual JForks introduction in French language. So, Bruno, go ahead. Thank you very much, guys, and bye.